So welcome guys to Lijiang Tower. I'm your host Daks. I'm your caster Daks. And sadly I don't have a co-caster for the day, but it is what it is. This is gonna be a very hype match between GE Pantheon Korea versus vs.NeverLulz of Thailand. GE Pantheon Korea pretty much the absolute favorites in all their matchups due to the fact they are in at the top of the bracket in the Open Division Pacific, literally at a 9-0. And this might be their opportunity to seal the deal with a perfect 10-0. Hopefully, we might be able to witness history in the making from the Pantheon Korean squad. So enough about the music, and let's get underway with the game. Gonna be back wall onto this Ana in Hyuk on the Wrecking Ball. Kojiu Lucio gonna switch it over to the Mercy instead. Sick on the D.Va, Kadalis on the McCree, and Swan on the Pharah. Interesting to note for the Pantheon squad, they'll be running Pharah at the control center, and as well as all their names, all their accounts have GE at the start, so you can just call them by the third letter onwards. On the other hand, nevellulz gonna be running a Doomfist for the time being. Swan with the takedown. Inin trying to go for the backline hack, but so far it's not gonna lead to any kills. Inhyuk though is encircling the point for the time being, gonna go into the backline as Sick dives on in, but perfect charge here from the red. Reinhardt gets the pin on the Wrecking Ball. They do have to concede the point, and that's gonna be nevellulz backing off. We might see a swap. It might be a dive comp instead, or a Wrecking Ball. Yeah, they're gonna go for a full dive here in terms of tank, and also run the Lucio Ana for the speed boost. Interesting though that Alaikeru is gonna be on the McCree instead. Just gonna try and deal with Swan as much as he can. Hack comes on out, and Kojiu is the immobile target for the time being, but Kadalis with the flashbang, and they're gonna take down onto Natural. Interesting discipline here from nevellulz. They back on off as soon as they lose one. Not really getting staggered on out, just backing off to the reception area. And it's gonna be a frosty reception here for Natural. Hopefully, nevellulz can actually dive on in once again, but two ultimates are available here for Pantheon.KR. Can they make this count? Anubis comes on out into the backline. The Winston there, shocking back wall to the absolute death. Rocket Barrage though from Swan. 2 kills going the way of the Winston, but now Alaikeru and Natural gets the mech. nevellulz trying to contest onto the point. Good sleep dart there. Puts Swan onto the floor. G6 trying to contest, and the mines coming up from top. Perfect EMP there, putting Inhyuk in a precarious situation, turning off the mines as well. Soundbuyer in response again to stealth the shock to allow the Lucio and the Sombra to stay alive in this fight. Now the red team trying to get back into it. Can nevellulz make a mockery of the Pantheon defense? Yes, they can. Perfect dive on in. And really good ultimate usage there from the Lucio, just using the sound barrier as soon as the self-destruct was gonna pop, not allowing the decay to take hold. Primal Rage is available, and nevellulz not gonna try to back off for the time being. Kadalis though does have the Deadeye. In the meantime, Pantheon gonna move on to the right hand side. Gonna see quick little rotation there, and Nin getting the hack on to one of the members of Pantheon, but self-destruct gonna come on out. Will it lead to kills? No, it won't. Alaikeru up on top. Deadeye trying to lock, but Inhyuk will be able to trade his life instead. Pantheon Korea, two members ahead in terms of this fight. 3 kills going the way of the blue team. Natural trying to stay alive in this fight, but Kojiu just keeping everyone topped up, and Swan swooping in from the sky. Concussive shot comes on in. Natural gets taken down. There's the hack onto the fire, but might be too late. Inin has to back off, and this might be nevellulz's last opportunity to strike. So the Sombra right now trying to look for a flank or two, trying to look for a target to actually take down. Backwall gets the kill onto Alaikeru, and did you see how fast Backwall actually reacted there to get the kill onto the Sombra to have fallen, forcing Alaikeru to change out to the Tracer. We have an Nano boosted Winston to start things off. Primal Rage is available. Kadalis though popping the Deadeye. We have a Demon Mech now in his face, and there's to be a Rocket Barrage in assistance. Swan with a takedown onto one, being pocketed up by both the Ana and the Mercy. EMP comes on out. I need trying to stay alive. Gonna turn invisible instead. Self-destruct onto the right hand side. Gets a kill onto the Tracer. Way too late for Alaikeru to dash on out. Mines onto the right hand side. Good position there to not allow the red team of nevellulz to actually move on in from their angle. And then too late to get to the point, and that is going to be Pantheon taking the first map of Control Center.
You look tired.
Score 1-0.
So this matchup here from Pantheon, interesting to note. They may have they have run the Pharah to fruition, and they also have used the Wrecking Ball to just allow the setups there for their DPS to actually get some shots out. Swan, honestly, I love seeing the pile driver into the direct hit combination from Swan and Inhyuk. Interesting to note though, NeverLulz not really running a Reinhardt to try and deal with that. They ran the Sombra, but it just wasn't enough to deal with Inhyuk's positioning, and that is going to be a masterclass of Wrecking Ball play there from Pantheon. This time, we are going to be on Gardens, and we are going to see a Pharah Mercy from Pantheon as well as NeverLulz. So the sky will be bright tonight with rockets and red glaring. Inhyuk though gonna dive onto the bridge, looking for a boop or two. Doesn't really get much, and the two dive tanks as well as the fire focus fire onto the Winston. Kadalus though getting the trade, gets rid of Burpex. Swan with a takedown onto his counterpart as well, ruling the skies right now. GE is not even allowing East M there to go for the res. Natural more or less committing suicide. Kadalus takes down the last two members of the NeverLulz squad. Ainan though just being a little distracting. Going for a contest at the end. Gonna put up the translocator. Interesting though that he's not hacking up the health packs. Could be able to use it for the benefit of his team, especially the one on their side. Backwell though really low, gets taken down, and that's how you play the Sombra. You are very opportunistic, hence the trait name. Kajiu next to fall. Good dive there from the Winston, but he gets traded, and the DPS duo of Pantheon bringing this back. No heals however for the time being, and Swan is gonna get shot down. Natural now getting the mech, no real contest onto the point as of yet. These guys, the Pantheon squad forcing things out, and Perfect takes a quick little dip instead. For the side of NeverLulz, they didn't actually go for the contest on the point too much. Natural just used it to slip on by. Instead, they focused on getting the kills out. So NeverLulz now at a disadvantage, 45% and counting, and Pantheon showing their stuff why they are at the top of the class. Rocket Barrage is available, and Swan gonna dive on down using his gas to as much fruition as he can, was charging it up instead. EMP now comes on out, and Swan still takes down two. Nano boosted Winston once again is the name of the game for NeverLulz. Gonna go into the back line. Diana trying to hack wall, but back wall is forced to be, takes the walls instead. And Alcadalis with a takedown on to two. Pantheon keeping this on. Natural really low, gonna take a dip instead so as to not get staggered as the Baby Diva. This will allow NeverLulz one last opportunity to dive onto the point and try to engage, but this has been such a one-sided affair so far from the side of Pantheon. These guys are absolutely dominant in this bracket and in this division for a reason. Salto Shock now comes on out. It gets a takedown onto East M. Very, very witty play there onto the corner. But now two picks going the way of NeverLulz, giving them the opportunity to strike. Primal Rage is there. Swan, Rocket Barrage out of desperation. Not really gonna lead to much, however. Good takedown. That was a Lycaru rather with the Rocket Barrage. So Swan just staying all the way in the back. This might be Pantheon giving up the point, not really putting up too much resistance, saving their ultimates. The Pulse Bomb and Rocket Barrage are gonna be stayed for the time being. Ainin, they're switching over however to the Tracer, and not really getting enough value out of the Sombra. No real picks after the EMP. Just a small little dive there from the Winston. Instead, forced to go for the Desperation Tracer at the 99 percentile. Primal Rage, however that Pulse Bomb is going to be charged up for Kadalus, and here comes the Red Winston diving on into the back line. Back wall really low, but the Nano Boost allowing him to do a little more damage. The two supports keeping each other alive. Swan with the Rocket Rods get this defense break 6 in his face. There's the Pulse Bomb, doesn't get matched. Natural falls to the Tracer. Easton has to go for the Valkyrie play, but Burpek is the only one he's supporting for the time being. A Lycaru with the pickoff onto one, swooping in from the spawn. The trades are being given to both sides. Sick really low, wants to get that mech back, but ain't gonna get it for the time being. We do see Pantheon go for the contest, and the Baby Diva now playing the DPS role that she knows she's meant to be. Natural swooping on in from the corner. Kojiwo trying to back off. The Valkyrie should be out in just a bit, and there's gonna be a self-destruct onto the top part. Oh, look at that! Sick being creative with the self-destruct, using the opposing self-destruct to fling his mech to the other side. Sadly, doesn't work out. A Lycaru really low, gets a burst of bullets from Kadalus. 2-for-1 trade so far, and this might be Pantheon in a tough situation. They're not actually getting the kills that they need, even allowing East M to res a Lycaru back up to life. Swan gets a pulse bomb stuck to the thrusters and gets taken down. 83% now here for NeverLulz, and Pantheon looks like they're a little too overconfident in this fight. 99 percentile here for the Pantheon squad, but they need to go for the contest and they need to touch that point before 100 happens for the NeverLulz squad. Backhold on Swan, ready with 2 ultimates, and it's gonna be a nano boosted Winston to start things off. Alaikaru will greet this with Inhyuk getting a face full of rockets, and Swan getting traded out as well. Rocket Barrage not leading too much. Backhold though into the backline, just trying to heal up Gojiwa as much as he can, and giving the Mercy a point of retreat. Kadalis in the backline though, playing hero, takes down Alaikaru. Ace dies as well, so no more vertical advantage here from the side of NeverLulz. Inhyuk switching over to the Wrecking Ball and immediately gets the kill onto the D. But this guy plays such a strong Wrecking Ball. John would have loved this one, but in here, trying to stay alive, force the recall, gets a face full of nail gun bullets from the Doofus. Instead, they almost C9 the point. That was so dangerous. Self-destruct though coming on out. Isam with the contest, trying to go for the touch, doesn't really get much. Instead, will go for the med back. Running out of Valkyrie, however, has to go back onto his teammates. Kadalis will be able to take him down in the second clip. No! The Mercy Guardian Angels out of direction. Now 2 kills going the way here of Pantheon. Self-destruct on the right hand side, doesn't get too much. Wrecking Ball though gonna roll on in. Pile Driver is out and about. Alaikaru versus Swan in a fisticuffs matchup, and Swan winning it out, gets 2 so far. That's gonna be Pantheon winning it at the end of that clash. A little sloppy there from Pantheon, but they get the job done. 100-99.
Play of the game.
Play of the game there goes to Ein. I actually don't know. I actually don't know what to call this guy, but congratulations there to Pantheon taking up the first map of our series. And just looking at the cards, three cards there for Pantheon. Kajiu and Swan perfectly playing together. And GE Pantheon Kyria, the newest addition to the GE family before this open division, has been showing their stuff. Have been absolutely impressive so far. And yeah, Backwall and Kajiu, the backline there from these guys. Very, very well executed and very, very well synergized from the two supports. Of course, Rialto. We know what Rialto is all about. The variety and the canals. Bridges full of water. Absolutely deadly water to everyone in the Overwatch world. Because apparently no one knows how to swim. But it's such a beautiful map in the first place. And Pantheon gonna be on the first defense. Gonna have Backwall on Diana. Inhyuk on the Reinhardt. Kajiu on the Mercy. Sick on the Zarya. Kadalis on the Widowmaker. And Swan on the Pharah. On the other hand, for NeverLulz, we do have Nacy here on the Hanzo, Natural on the Genji. We have a Wrecking Ball as well for NeverLulz, Perfect on the Ana, and that was really cute. They actually went up on top of the artwork. So we'll see a few switches here. This is why you never talk about the attack till the end of the timer. So we do have a Reinhardt and a Zarya to start things off here for NeverLulz. Kadalis gets a first shot already onto Nazy, picking off the Hanzo, and as well as the Widowmaker. The two snipers fall to one man, and Kadalis swooping on in, almost gets the headshot there onto Isam. That could have been absolutely amazing, but Kadalis playing the Bridgekeeper, waiting for the tolls of NeverLulz to come on by. You can also see Pantheon gonna run the Pharmacy once again. Swan has been so potent with this hero as well as the Doomfist. But in Rialto, you usually want to run a Pharah at the start. Very, very safe pick, and you can use the buildings to hide against the enemy in the Widowmaker and allow your own Widowmaker to go for the 1v1. Kadalis with the pickoff once again. Gonna be on East M this time. Natural playing the bait and switch, almost getting shot, however, by that second shot coming in from Kadalis. Swan will be there to take care of this, and already the defense moving on forward. Usually the defense for this map is by this area as close, as tight as it can be. But on the other hand, Inhyuk gonna move on in a lot of confidence here for the Pantheon squad. Nacy though flying up into the sky. Gonna be NeverLulz moving on in once again. Sick just dropping on down. We have a charge now from Inhyuk and the two Reinhardts dueling. Nano boost onto both of them, however, and we have the shatter. He gets booped away, and really good boop there from Ace M to keep the Reinhardt and his potency to a minimum. On the other hand, Nacy has switched to the Pharah, just making it rain onto Kadalis. Will Kadalis stay alive? Yes, he will. Sick with the Graviton Surge, and there's the Rocket Barrage from Swan. Sadly, he doesn't use the bubble there, and the Pharah takes a nap and goes back to spawn. 3 kills going the way now of Pantheon, and so far so good in their defense. Will NeverLulz even make it to the first checkpoint? That is the real question. The Reinhardt still do duel, and Sick, more or less overextending in this fight, has to get away, but the opposing Zarya of Natural giving a 1v1. Natural actually dies, and Kajiu swoops on in for the save. Awesome super jump there to use to get on to Sick Swan as well. And that's one of the first times I've seen someone actually prefer Guardian Angel. That's really cool. So in terms of options, it looks like Kojima plays with Beam Target prefers Guardian Angel. I mean, Guardian Angel prefers Beam Target. As we have a Graviton Surge right now, Fire Grenade onto 2. The Red Reinhardt taking it up as well as Inhyuk, so no shields available for both players. Einen going for a snipe, gets Swan. Looks for back wall as well, with Graviton Surge now from Sick, and Inhyuk trying to combo it up with a shatter. No real kills for the blue team as of yet, and Pantheon on the retreat. Really good bubble there to keep Inhyuk alive. That's absolutely well timed there by Sick, but he might die in this fight. Finally, his partner Inhyuk moving on in, just protecting his Zarya for the time being, and both tanks get away by the skin of their teeth. A minute remaining, and this is gonna be Pantheon moving on in with the rotation. Kadala is gonna go up on top. Inhyuk has to contest, but it's too late. Pantheon give up the first point. Interesting. That was honestly a little questionable there from the Pantheon squad. Inhyuk didn't move up fast enough, got pooped around a little bit, and NeverLulz is gonna move on to the second checkpoint. This looks good here for the Taiwanese squad. They actually got a point on back, as it looked dire at the first engagement. Perfect though, ready with the Nano boost. And NeverLulz going for a 5-star kill. Shatter is available. Inhyuk gonna drop on down. There's gonna be a sleep dart. And there's the Rocket Barrage from Nacy. Gets a kill onto 1. Backwall trying to hop away. 2 more kills going the way here, however, of the NeverLulz squad. And this is gonna be a steamroll for the time being. Snowballing in. Oh, Backwall winning out the fight there against Nacy. Sleep dart into the Bio Grenade. Beats the Pharah in that engagement. Will Nacy keep up the Pharah? And not honestly, Backwall is just trying to hide away from the oncoming Widowmaker. Einen looking for a shot onto Backwall as we have the Graviton Surge for Sick. Puts Natural to his death. Backwall now getting taken down sadly as he retreated. And Nacy switching over to the Genji as well, knows he might actually die against Diana in that fight. Kadalis Venomine as well as an arrow from Swan equals absolute death there for the oncoming Genji. Another stagger here for NeverLulz, and Pantheon now gonna defend in a manner onto the second floor, just take control of the high ground. On the other hand, we do see NeverLulz gonna move on to the right hand side instead and move through the main walkway. Infrasight though has been popped, and they see Swan channeling that Dragon Strike, moving accordingly, able to survive. They get cut up by a bit, but it's not enough for Pantheon to actually move on in for the attack. Nacy gets to pick off on the back wall, using the ninja skills of the Hunter to climb up on top. Graviton Surge, but the Bio Grenade from Perfect shuts this down. Huge nade there from the side of NeverLulz, and that's more or less gonna be the second checkpoint taken. That was a really big grenade there from the Ana. So what Backwall did as he was res, used a Bio Grenade for themselves, tried to keep them alive, but an even better grenade from Burpek. He can't counteract the Bio Grenade with a Bio Grenade. The anti-heal will always win out in terms of status buff. Swan switching over now to the Junkrat, a pretty potent pick by the third point. You can just toss out those grenades, but on the other hand, we have a Lucio here for NeverLulz. They can go dash on in with the speed boost sound barrier combination, and that's what they're gonna do. Take control of the artwork area already. Inhyuk and Sick both get taken down. Pantheon now moving on to the right-hand side, and honestly, that first point mistake has cost him so much in terms of map progress. This might be a longer one, and Swan already taking so much damage. He gets killed by Nacy. What was that there from Swan? Moving on into the Dragon Strike. 3 now onto the point. In Hyuk with the Shatter, puts EastM onto the floor. On the other hand, the Red Reinhardt going for the kill onto the Zarya. And this is now NeverLulz taking control of this point. Kojima trying to dance around. A minute 42 remaining, and GE turning this things around with that Graviton Nano Boost onto the Zarya. Nacy and Burpek both do fall, and by literally the sweat on the brow, Pantheon Korea able to hold on to this 0.75 and a minute 25 remaining here in their timer. The ultimate's ready here for the attacking squad, however, of NeverLulz, Graviton, and Soundbarrier to more or less keep Pantheon away from them. They can actually use the Graviton to force Pantheon away from the payload. Nacy though already taking out back wall, not taking any chances against the sleep dart or the anti-heal. Nano Boost comes on out, and here comes the rampaging Reinhardt, swings on in, gets to Einen with the Doomfist as well onto the right hand side. Sick just trying to hide, trying to stay alive and charge it up, but no, Einen will take him down. Sand Barrier is there. EastM with the takedown onto Kadalis. The Diva gets taken down. Backwall though in the backline, gets rid of one. Kojima the last to fall. Here comes the Wrecking Ball from Inhyuk. Good shields right there to stay alive, and Swan dives on in with the Swift Strike, but it's not enough. The Wrecking Ball being booped. Here comes the Tracer right now from Sick, dodging the Dragon Spite. The 3 calls right in front of it, gets taken down. 0.00, and that's gonna be enough at the end. NeverLulz coming back at it, and that was just one mistake there from Pantheon, allowing NeverLulz to actually move on in to get the rest of the map. 0-28, so that's gonna be a minute if there is gonna be a second round. So really, there's just one thing to note in that defense there from Pantheon. The fact that Inhyuk wasn't able to actually contest the point. A little too late there from Pantheon. And look, they look like they had the plan. Kadalis was gonna move on in. He could actually snipe anyone who's here or drop down here and snipe from the backline as the tanks took advantage of the situation, just caused some chaos. On the other hand, for the second point, they just got grabbed up and bunched up. They got taken down. They bunched up to try and protect their Mercy, but ended up in the favor of NeverLulz because they have the Ana as well, and the anti-heal just decimating the ranks of Pantheon Korea. By the third point, it was just a little too late. A little questionable as well in terms of their pathway. NeverLulz just all committing suicide, but NeverLulz, especially with Nacy and the Dragon Strike, solid work from this guy, keeping Pantheon inside the spawn. And NeverLulz feels like they have to win this out. If they don't get this here, they might lose their chances in making it to the playoffs of the Open Division. On the other hand, Pantheon just really would appreciate that 10-0 and not have to worry about map differential or anything in terms of seeding. For the defense, however, we see the Ryan Zarya as well as the Widow and Hanzo. So NeverLulz gonna go for the double sniper. Feel like they can handle the oncoming Pharah Mercy from Pantheon with their hit scan and arrow combination. So for now, Swan gonna fly on up, moving on to the second floor. Doesn't want to get the sightlines yet onto him. Looking for where the Widow and the Ana as well as the Hanzo are placed, displacing them with just his mere presence. He just flies on up and he's like, okay, never mind. And he's like, no, I don't want to go that way. Swan just trooping on into the left hand side instead. On the other hand, Kadalis with the rest of the Pantheon squad moving on in. Einen here, looking for the targets now. Gonna be a 1v1 between these two Widowmakers. Einen using a plaza. Look at that, very creative, using the grappling hook to get onto the right hand side. He gets sniped up, and the headshot there, Einen wins it out. Perfect play there from Einen, almost but not quite from Kadalis, but he gets a second chance, gets rezzed up. And now the Widowmaker of Red moving on in once again. The Widow fights have been so solid between Kadalis and Einen. But now Nano Boost is available, and Kadalis takes care of the opposing Widowmaker. Nacy on the backline, doing some damage, but not the Reinhardt's Nano Boost up. Shatter is available here for Inhyuk. He has the back off. No opportunity for both Reinhardt's, or even Nano Boosted, to go for the Earth Shatter. Dual tips ready now for the defense. Can the red squad keep this up? Gonna go for a Graviton as well as a Dragon Strike from Natural and Lazy. The NNN connection going for the Graviton strike, and that's gonna be 2 kills going the way of NeverLulz for the time being. Chatter is still available. They're gonna have the Sound Barrier as well as the Infrasight into the next fight. On the other hand, Kadales losing already the Infrasight, and this allows Pantheon to actually move on in. Familiar yung name ng Alay Kiru. I know, right? But Nazy now with the takedown onto one. Here comes NeverLulz pushing on in once again. Has the speed boost in their arsenal. Oh, is that a whiff Graviton Surge? Oh no, sick! What was that? That was not sick at all. Not really getting anyone. It was a really good bait and switch there from NeverLulz. They went for the speed boost, but it doesn't lead to anything. And now, Pantheon losing members left and right. What is this from this squad? They look like they're choking under pressure, but sick with a takedown onto 3. This has to be a regroup, however, from Pantheon Korea. Sick honestly got baited there by NeverLulz. NeverLulz was like, okay, we're gonna speed boost in and try to get the shatter on out. So Sick responded with the Graviton Surge, but interesting enough, NeverLulz was like, nope, psych, we're gonna back off instead. Perfect play there from the Taiwanese squad. Valkyrie is available now here for Pantheon Korea, and they have switched over to a dive comp. Real question is, will it work out in their favor? Nano boosted Reinhardt once again swinging away. Kidales with a takedown onto 1. Make that 2. Nazy Natural both get their heads blown off completely by the Widowmaker. And now the Reinhardt has to back off, gets taken down by Swan. Genji and Widowmaker now are our combination for Pantheon, switching it over from the Pharaoh. They still keep the Mercy interesting, and no Ana here. For the side of Pantheon Korea, they have the Brigitte as well, just to break the choke point. And the payload now reaching the checkpoint, and that was very smart here from Backwall. Gonna run the Brigitte if the dive didn't actually work out in their favor. Koji was switching over however to the Lucio, and the combination of the Lucio and the Brigitte is more of one that is a fighting. When you have the Lucio and the Brigitte, you just charge on in and you have to fight or you will die. If you don't fight with your Brigitte, she will die, and then by proxy, you will die because there will be no healing, and there's gonna be now an engagement onto the second floor. Graviton Surge and the Dragon once again. That's gonna be the fight over already here for Pantheon Korea. Let's check that out once again. I don't know if he's a caster or not. I'm actually curious now. Taiwan though. But just look at this engagement here from NeverLulz. He just got the grab on out. Sick, sadly, does not get the defense matrix on in. We have the rally now. Backwall moving on in. But it's Ein in there with a takedown onto 1. He gets traded, however, as Inhyuk dives on. Has the Primal Rage now, as well as the self-destruct here for the squad of Pantheon. And both tanks using their ultimates at the same time. The Diva almost getting felled by the Lucio, but the corner is not the place for this in this first place. Sound Barrier is available now, and NeverLulz just trying to win the boop game against the Winston. Swando gets a takedown onto 1. Swift Strike is available, and got the tilt there onto Burpek. He wants a Dragon Blade in this fight as Einen switches over to Pharah, using the long sight lines and the clear skies of the second point of Rialto to his fruition. And honestly, the Pharah is such a good pick right now because Pantheon has switched over to the dive, the Tracer, and the Genji. We have the Dragon Blade right now, comboed out with the Sound Barrier. Sound Barrier in response now from Eastpen. Both players now just keeping the same track on repeat, but Pantheon still with the superior dive. Gets 4, gets 5, dives on in, wants to even go for the kill onto Einen, and they get the second point. Finally, Pantheon looking like they are the stuff of legends in that dive. So just check that out once again. Dragon Blade is out, gets the kill onto 1. And the problem there from NeverLulz, they backed off a little too late. Pantheon was able to catch up to them and use the Dragon Blade to get some damage done. Interesting to note, however, that Pantheon gonna be on the goats instead. Swan is the one moving over to the Moira, Kadalis on the Zarya, and Sicklestay on the Diva. So yeah, it's just rare to see a DPS actually play on the Moira instead. Shatter comes on out, but it's not gonna lead too much. Pantheon just playing absolutely chaotic in this fight, but there's gonna be a self-destruct now onto the back line. Gets to Sick, making an opening. Perfect vertical limit there from the Diva, taking down 2 in that one. Kadalis with 2 as well, and now 5 have fallen here for the defense. Einen just staying onto the point, just chilling, you know, trying to contest as much as he can because he's gonna die anyway. Doesn't want to feed his mech too much without just cause. Interesting to note, however, but that NeverLulz now has switched over their Ana to a Moira to try and deal with the goats. 3-3 is the name of the game, and the engagement now all over the point. Shatter comes on out, however, from NeverLulz, and this might be the win condition they're looking for. Yes, it is. The 3 supports fall, no contest in the backline. NeverLulz pushing on and taking all Pantheon all the way to downtown. And that's gonna be a team kill. What a perfect setup there from the side of NeverLulz. Just look at that Shatter putting the supports onto the floor. The Reinhardt way too far in that engagement, and Pantheon suffer another lost fight as a result. The ultimate's ready here for NeverLulz, and Nacy right now just holding up the barrier, has the rally available, and NeverLulz now trying to regroup as much as they can. Inhyuk does have the Shatter, and they're gonna go for the push. Capital Surge comes on out. Coalescence is there as well. They take down one. Good Shatter onto 2, onto 3, onto 4. Iron self-destruct at the end, but in the meantime, Inhyuk will just go for the push alongside Kojiu. No way the Diva can get onto this, and both squad with a similar time.
Complete. Gone. Score 3-3. Switching sides.
So for now, we do have NeverLulz gonna be on the first attack. On the other hand, on defense, we have the squad of Pantheon moving on in. Real question is, can NeverLulz keep this up? They do have the Reinhardt and the Zarya in their arsenal. Trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Maybe run the double sniper again, maybe run a Pharah. On the other hand, we have Pantheon opting to run the Pharah in the first place. Swan was actually double hesitating a little. Some communication there going on to Pantheon, what they need to run, because this time they can't make the same mistake that they did on the first point, leading to the situation. They honestly had it, and if they just keep up with what they did in the first part before they faltered, they will more or less win this out. But they might not be expecting this. It's really gonna be a bastion here from Nacy. Is NeverLulz gonna risk it out and just try to go for something completely left field? That is the real question from the Taiwanese squad. But Kadalius will be on grapple hook duty. Look at this. He's gonna go soar into the sky as soon as they come out. Nacy's gonna go hurt the Hanzo, and no one. Absolutely no one there for Kadalius. Swan instead getting shot on out. Einen and Nacy. Oh, goodbye, Reinhardt. That's a reset already here for NeverLulz. So NeverLulz losing on out, and gonna be a bastion here for Nacy. Okay. But honestly, I feel like NeverLulz has lost their window already. You can't use the bastion if you're not gonna set up before you push the payload to the bridge. We now have a Pharah, and there is no mercy. There's no mercy here for NeverLulz. There might be no mercy here for Nacy as well. Might not have any mercy there, rather, from the side of Swan and Kojiu. Just winning out this fight already. The direct hits are perfect. Perfect gets taken down. Kadalius with the kill as well. And honestly, NeverLulz is kind of choking that one out. Their plan of attack didn't work out. And just running the Pharah like that, picking the Bastion up, very a little questionable. Sleep Dart onto East M. That's gonna be the round.
Not bad.
What a reaction there from Backwall, spotting out the Lucio and Kadalius with the headshot.
Score
So that's it. It's gonna be it there for that round. Where is that? Solid work there from Pantheon in that defense. And as I said, if they just did what they did at the start of the first round, they were gonna win it out. Solid work so far here from the Pantheon squad. So a minute and 9 seconds here for NeverLulz to defend, and interesting enough, they're gonna go for the Road Dog from Einen. The thing about having the Road Dog is you have a lot of damage in close quarter combat.
incoming in 30 seconds.
Interesting to note, but thank you for the cap. Thank you for showing up, and congratulations for winning the giveaway in the first place. NeverLulz though, are they gonna defend on the spawn point? That is the real question. This is a little dangerous. Honestly, this is a little dangerous. Can they actually make this work? That is the real question. Pantheon might not expect this at all.
4, 3,
Can they make this work? NeverLulz, I'm rooting for NeverLulz to make this work. Nazy on the other hand, holding that shield up, and NeverLulz gonna go for the rotate, and here they come, pushing on and gets rid of back wall already. Charge in response from Inhyuk, but he's forced to go inside. Kadalis with the pickup onto East M, getting rid of the retreat here for the side of NeverLulz. He gets hooked up over, the Widowmaker gets taken down. In the meantime, Swan in the air, gonna back off onto the left hand side, being pocketed up by Kojiwu, and there was no way Pantheon expected that to happen. So Pantheon still allowed to go for the push, and it's gonna be NeverLulz now backing on off. And honestly, NeverLulz had a situation where they had nothing left to lose. They just dove on in and even got rid of the backline. Ainendo looking for a target or two to try and hook up. He gets a headshot to the face instead. Swan is ready with the rocket barrage, gonna drop on down, makes it rain on the perfect. There's the barrier, gets the two supports. Einen finally gets the kill onto Swan, but this might be it here for NeverLulz as Inhyuk walks on by, takes down the opposing Reinhardt, has the shatter in one swing, puts it onto the Zarya, charges him to the wall, and the payload now so close to victory. Pantheon eke it out at the end. An amazing strategy there from NeverLulz, but just doesn't work out in their favor.
Play of the game.
Play of the game now, going into Inhyuk with the Reinhardt. This was a pretty solid shatter here setup. Thanks to the grab and got the shatter, and this is what allowed Pantheon to actually move on in. They more or less just ignore that baby deal. They're just like, okay, we're gonna go for the payload. Right, there you go. Very, very close game between the two. Honestly, a lot closer than it should have if Pantheon didn't falter in their first defense. Pantheon career right now with the 2-0 so far has been absolutely dominant in these games, to say the least. Very, very solid work here from the Pantheon squad. They were a little sloppy there onto Rialto, but they still eked it out at the end. Even in the face of a very, very amusing and interesting composition, they still won it out. So, solid work there from the Pantheon squad. And now we do see a Winston? What is this composition here for the defense? I'm very confused, honestly. What they're gonna run? Orisa D.Va. Okay, Orisa D.Va is a little more simple. Is what you could run on Anubis. Orisa is pretty strong on point A. Anubis, you could just make a foothold and just go away with the fusion cannon. Try to support your snipers as well with the long range barriers. Not needing a Symmetra, and you can use the Bastion as well. So Pantheon career gonna be with this stable tank pick. Gonna also have the Hanzo, and interesting enough, the Junkrat and Swan already setting up with the trap. Where is it even? That's the real question. Where did he set up the trap? He's gonna make the grenades rain. On the other hand, the red team of NeverLulz not a little afraid of some snipers, I guess. Didn't want to go through to the center. Moves on to the right hand side of the APC, but meets a lot of grenades, meets Kadalis and his bow and arrow. Einen gets taken down, and they're gonna have to wait for the Tracer to be in the game. Oh, Nazy dies as well. Backwall shows up and takes him down. So the 1v1 there from between the Brigitte and the Genji. Look at this. Look at how interestingly Backwall has positioned himself, getting the sight lines of the walkway. Now he knows the Tracer's there. Einen, oh no, he's able to dodge to the shield bash. Yeah, Backwall has to retreat on in. Backwall not getting the pick allows NeverLulz to actually move on in. Here comes Backwall now, getting the stun there onto Natural. Gets the DMEC as well. For now, NeverLulz at a small disadvantage, and this is gonna be what their reason is for. Look at that. They're gonna be having an Arabian Nights night market experience all the way inside. 2 kills now going their way. Swan with the third. Pantheon Korea, really good rotation onto the right hand side. And I just love this. I love this strategy here, because the Orisa gonna go for a step onto the point while also protecting the rest of his team. On the other hand, the Junkrat will protect the side entrance. And looking at the lineup here from NeverLulz, they don't have the best composition to try dive on in. They do have the dive, they do have the Genji, but that's a form of burst. They can't actually contend with the amount of constant damage coming out there from the Junkrat and his explosives, as well as maybe a Dragon Strike there from the Hanzo as he quickly gets it with the Storm Arrows. NeverLulz now moving on to the right hand side as is tradition. Sick gonna go for the contest. Not really gonna get much. Has 3 ultimates so far, and the Riptire is gonna be available here for Pantheon. As Swan now just chilling. Wants to get the Riptire idly. not even making it making damage count, because he doesn't want to allow E-Step or Burpic to charge up their ultimates. Rally now comes on out and back wall, allowing Pantheon to fight a little stronger later on. Dragon Strike now comes on out, and here comes the Winston. Moving on in, self-destruct onto the left-hand side as well. It takes down that poor Winston. 2 kills going the way so far of Pantheon. Sick dives in, gets rid of Burpic. That's our perch. Thank you very much. Pantheon.KR now showing their stuff, and this might be a very, very solid defense here from the blue squad. The question is, how will NeverLulz respond? We do have a Tracer now from Einin, waiting for an opportunity to strike. He has the Pulse Bomb, and it looks like Pantheon doesn't know that he's there. Pulse Bomb sticks onto 2, gets a kill onto Swan, gets rid of the Supercharger as well. Kadala's now in trouble, the Diva out in his face. The Mercy trying to keep it up, but Einin being an absolute hero. Dragon Blade as well here from Nazy, and this is going to be a flurry of ultimates unparalleled from the side of Pantheon. NeverLulz popping the self-destruct as well, so this is going to be the first point taken. They toss out everything but the kitchen sink, and they end up with that first point. So just looking at this once again, I love this play here from Einin, just hiding the opposing team unaware of where he was. He got the stick onto the Junkrat, I believe, and Swan takes down himself as well as the Supercharger. So next, no extra damage. NeverLulz gonna go for an advance. They now have the Doomfist as well as the side of Pantheon. A Primal Rage Winston is going to be the name of this start of the fight. So 1-for-1 trade so far, but Kadala's in the middle, gets rid of Nazy. Pantheon already winning out in terms of numbers. Sick with a dive as well. Swan with a takedown. Pantheon.KR stopping the snowball push. And oh, Kadala's almost getting the shot out onto the Tracer. They're going to go for a quick little fight. Pulse Bomb is available. Doesn't really get much for the time being. Swan though just holding up on top, and just looking at the defense here for Pantheon, they're moving up very, very forward, just going for the top part defense as well as the Necropolis entrance near the obelisks. On the other hand, Natural and the Red Winston just waiting on for an opportunity to strike. They're gonna dive on in, just a quick little bait and switch, move on out to the right hand side as well. In the meantime, Backwall is up on top, gets a rally out. Here comes the Brigitte going for the push. Pajiu and Sikto ready with 2 ultimates, can launch out the self-destruct or use the Valkyrie at any opportunity. Pulse Bomb also has been the hero ult here for NeverLulz. Can Einin actually get the kill? Hits the box right there, and there's gonna be a dragon right now from the side of Kadala's. Gets rid of Burpic. This is gonna be NeverLulz in control. Meteor Strike from Swan. Just Catacombs. This might be the resting point here for NeverLulz in the Catacombs of Anubis. A punch comes on out once again, and Natural just trying to get away. He gets an uppercut to his face. And for now, Pantheon staying on alive. 3 minutes remaining here on the attack of NeverLulz. Can they actually make it to the fight? We do see some switches right now. We have the Lucio, we have the Moira. They're still gonna run the dive as well as the Doomfist. So not gonna go for the goats as of yet, but instead use the Lucio and the Moira to just fight as a cohesive unit with the Tracer and the Doomfist. Pulse Bomb is available, and we have a Valkyrie being popped in response of the engagement. Self-destruct into the middle. Will that anything? No, it won't. No kills going the way of either team. Still the 2 Doomfists getting kills. Now we have a brawl in the middle. Kojiu with Erez, however, on the back wall. The Brigitte is trying to stay away. And there's the Meteor Strike now from Swan. Doesn't get too much. Back wall with a takedown onto 1. Here's the combination onto the Lucio. He falls to the hand of the Doomfist. Pantheon.KR with another successful hold. The Primal Rage more or less wasted there from the side of NeverLulz. For now, NeverLulz here, ready with the self-destruct, ready with the Pulse Bomb, has a lot of pick potential, but instead of using it, they're gonna switch over to the Reinhardt and the Zarya. Gonna have such a little more of a clustered in push, and with the Rein and the Zarya, they can contend with the Doomfist. The Doomfist might get charged up and stop the punch, as well as even the Zarya bubble just protecting his team. Meteor Strike though coming out from Swan, looking for an opportunity to strike. Goes on to the Reinhardt, but the shield is there to protect them. Here comes the opposing Doomfist of Nazy being shocked around. He gets the health back and stays alive. Goes for the punch now onto the Winston. And now this is gonna be a 2-for-2 trade. Kadala's really low, gets 1 clip there by Einin. NeverLulz out trying to keep the point in their contention. They have gotten that tick, but will it be enough here to take the win? Pantheon.KR has the self-destruct here for Sick to try and delay as much as as he can. Zarya though into the middle, and there's gonna be the self-destruct. Red team gonna be on the retreat, and that's gonna be it for the attack there of NeverLulz. They have gotten 60% off to the point. Doesn't get the second tick, however. And now they have a minute remaining. Gonna try to charge up their ultimates. They have switched over to the Brigitte, however, from Einen. Sunfire should be up as well, but it just looks like that Pantheon.KR is already taking control. Inyok gonna be on the wrecking ball, and this tells me that Pantheon.KR is gonna take the fight to them. The defense will become the offense. Look how far they're playing. Inyok though gonna back off as Swan does get picked off. With a Doomfist in their play, it's a whole new world of damage, of pick potential there. But Inyok getting stuck, has to back off, has the shields available, and gets rescued by Kajiu instead. 10 seconds remaining, Kadalis with a pick off onto the Brigitte, and the red team gonna go for the rotation. NeverLulz trying to stay alive, but Swan with the punch. Sam Barrier is forced out. Shatter comes in, gets absolutely nothing. Meteor Strike as well as a Dragon Strike here from Pantheon.KR. They get the kill onto one already. 1-for-1 trades. Graviton Surge into the middle, putting the attacks in out of place. But Isam is the only survivor. He has to go for the contest. Rocket Punch doesn't connect, but Illusion getting booped around by the Wrecking Ball. Finally getting taken down by the Pile Driver. And that's the defense holding here on Anubis.
Round 1 complete. Score 0-1. Switching sides.
So a stellar performance in defense there from the Pantheon squad. Just allowing themselves to get onto the point with a multitude of approaches. And I loved how aggressive they took that last minute defense. Not even allowing NeverLulz to actually get onto the point as a complete unit. So it's very, very smart, because I feel like that's a thing in Overwatch. If you are on overtime, there's something about the overtime push that allows the offense to actually win it out. I don't know if it's just nerves, jitters, or just a motivation in general, but those overtime pushes are the ones where the defense falters, and instead of just waiting on for the attack there from NeverLulz, what Pantheon did was they advanced on in, they had the Wrecking Ball to try and do some damage. Worked out in their favor. The Doomfist though dying, forced them to back on off, but honestly the picks were pretty huge. The pick off there onto the Brigitte as well, courtesy of Kadalis. Absolutely solid, more or less stopping the Catacomb push from NeverLulz. But in the meantime, we did see the Symmetra there from NeverLulz trying to put up the Orisa and protect Einen as well as Burpic, as well as the Junkrat of Nazy. So this is going to be an all-in here from NeverLulz onto the roof. A little different from what Pantheon did. Pantheon defended at the bottom in this building and just tried their best to not get damaged out. On the other hand, it's going to be on the top part, which is a multitude of openings, but also a really good sight line here from Einen. So it is going to be up to this Widowmaker to make the position count to get these picks. On the other hand, we do have the dive bomb position here from Pantheon. And oh, Zenyatta and a Mercy for GE. Oh, that's interesting. Honestly, would have expected maybe a Nana, but instead, they're gonna go for the Discord play. Kadalis will be on anti-sniper duty, not really getting much. Einen missing the shot, however, and look at that, Swan dives on in, he gets taken down so easily by Nacy. And the point of this Junkrat play is you put the trap and you put the concussive mine beside your Orisa to allow the Junkrat to protect your team as the dive comes on and separate the oncoming tanks. Natural though up on top gets a takedown onto Inhyuk. And this so far has been pretty good here for NeverLulz. They haven't lost a member yet. Eastem as well, just dancing around. The only problem with their defense is if the Orisa dies once or falls down, they can't do this again. They don't have the Symmetra anymore. They can't use the teleport to bring it up. No Mei as well. So for NeverLulz, this is going to be an all-in on this defense. If the Orisa dies, this defense is over. They have to go down and change up their tactics for the rest of the point. Natural now, they're gonna fly on in and just look at how Nazy has set up. There's gonna be a bear trap as well as concussive mine that does a lot of damage thanks to the epicenter approach of the concussive mine. Gonna be a dive on in sick, and Inhyuk being bounced around. Swan with the solo dive almost dies, but a huge fire grenade there from backwall, forcing the rest of NeverLulz to go into the backline. The Risa being pocketed, the Dragon Blade is available. He's gonna whip it out, and he's gonna take down the two supports with one animation cancel. Swan is the absolute hero of the story. No one else gonna go more anime than this guy. Pantheon right now cleaving 4 with one blade. They even get the DMEC now onto natural. This should be the point taken. That was absolutely perfectly played there by Pantheon. So just check out this replay. The D.Va and the Winston just getting as much attention as they can. And the blade whipped out. The two supports out of position, gets taken down. The Risa dying as well. So we have a Riptar on the way here from Nazy. He just wants to go for a pick. And this is going to be a Junkrat switching on out. Obviously, you usually use those ultimates pretty early to try and get a pick before you switch out to a more potent hero. For this point defense, gonna be a Brigitte, very strong at close quarter combat. A nano boosted Genji is gonna be there, and honestly I feel that that's a slight misplay. They don't need the Genji to actually get the nano boost. Could have given it to the D.Va, but Sick with a self-destruct in the backline gets the 3 supports. Absolutely perfectly played there from the D.Va. There's gonna be the dive, and that's gonna be the game. Oh no, the Winston at the last moment swoops on by, but it's too late. Pantheon already takes the win. Absolutely perfectly played there from Sick, and Pantheon Korea, a perfect record in the open division.
Play of the game.
Play of the game does go to Swan, and let's just watch that beautiful Genji Dragon Blade in action. It was a very fatal mistake there from both Eastem and Burpek. They got taken down there by Swan in one fell swoop. And Pantheon Korea moving on to the playoffs